Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now the biggest news in boxing got to be, Terence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. Then they got the press conferences, 2 days ago in LA, day ago again in New York, and they going at it, you know what I'm saying? And like I said before in the last video, they handling their business. They're doing a damn good job because both of these guys are not really extroverts. You know what I'm saying? They're very, they keep it on the inside. They don't talk too much smack. When they do, it's those kind of people that don't talk that much. When they say something, you gotta listen because they mean it, right? These are kind of dudes. But right now, they're doing, I think, a very good job at promoting the fight, and they don't have to do ridiculous things to promote it because they're both awesome anyway. Right? All the Errol Spence fans know they're fans of Errol Spence because he's the truth, damn it, and he's awesome. The Terence Bud Crawford fans are down with Terence Crawford because, damn it, it's Bud. He's bad as hell and everybody know it. You know what I mean? So that's, you're fans of somebody because they're awesome, no matter who you're fans of. Or like me, like you're fans of both of these dudes, right? I just would prefer one to win because one is trying to go get even more history than the other one, but it's going to be historic no matter what happens here. So we all going to win on this bad boy. So, but, I heard something from across the pond now. An ex-champion, an ex-world champion, Barry McGuigan. He's worried about Errol Spence's well-being before this fight. Now, when somebody fights Terence Crawford, I've heard this before. Maybe you have heard this before. Terence Crawford, when he was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao, I'm talking about the last 7 years. All you heard when Manny Pacquiao was supposed to fight Terence Crawford, they were worried about his well-being. I mean, I'm talking about his promoter, Bob Arum. All you gotta do is Google it. Bob Arum. I'm not letting Terence Crawford fight him. I would be worried about Manny Pacquiao getting hurt. I'm not gonna let him do that because he's gonna get hurt messing around with Terence Crawford. Freddie Roach, the trainer of Manny Pacquiao, was like, shoot, man, that's a young Floyd Mayweather. We don't want Manny Pacquiao to get hurt messing around with him. Imagine that, your promoter and your trainer. Didn't want Manny Pacquiao. I didn't say anybody, did I? I said Manny damn Pacquiao, right? 7, 8 years ago. Not that old one that just retired. Not that one. And the one that wants to come back and beat up some other people. Or the one that came back and beat up Keith Thurman. He didn't really beat up Keith Thurman, though, but that's another thing. But he definitely was in a good fight with Keith Thurman. Not that one. Years before that. Well-being. All worried about his well-being. And every time you said Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Crawford, what did the Teddy Atlases of the world say? Nope. Worried about his well-being. The Stephen A. Smiths of the world, worried about him getting hurt fighting Terence Crawford. See, so when people come and talk about Terence Crawford's resume, that is on your resume. Who don't put stuff like that on your resume? You don't, like that. You had a resume, you ain't gonna put the fact that Manny Pacquiao was gonna get hurt messing with me. Everybody talking about that. That's not a resume. That's resume. Matter of fact, that's on the top of mine. If I'm Bud Crawford. I'm like, top of it, Manny Pacquiao is a Hall of Famer, number 2 all time, right? He was scared in his prime and after his prime, and people is all scared of him fighting me. That means something. Everybody can ignore that if they want to. But anyway, we're hearing the same thing right now from Barry McGuigan. He said he's worried about Errol Spence's well-being before the Terence Crawford fight. Now, it's not only because Terence Crawford's awesomeness, right? It's also because he hears slurred speech from Errol Spence. Now, when it comes to me, y'all know when I talk about Errol Spence, I call him Van Helsing, just because I know his heart rate don't get up. He's just kind of even keel. I'm pretty sure Errol Spence the kind of dude when he was in high school and especially back in middle school and stuff like that, when you didn't do nothing all day but talk about each other. I'm pretty sure he had names like Slowpoke, Droopy, whatever, Mr. Always High, or whatever people would call him, stuff that was slow because he takes his time. He's effective, but he just takes his time. He ain't up about nothing. I ain't getting excited about nothing. Got time for it. Just don't mess with me because you mess around and get slowly beat the hell up, right? So at the end of the day, I just think it has to do with that. I think Errol Spence is always kind of slurred. Maybe he's a little bit more, but it's not the respect to all these people, but it's not like the Evander Holyfield or Riddick Bowe type slurred popping off, or James Toney kind of slurred or stuff like that popping off. It's just probably a little bit, creeping in there. I'm not sure. I haven't really paid attention to it myself. I just, he's been like that for me for always, but it's not only through his fights. Yeah, he had some hard fights with Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, shoot, Kell Brook. Let's make sure that we don't forget that. He had some hard fights there, and but it's also the car accident, as well. So, maybe Mary McGuigan is on to something. But I'm just gonna say this too: if he was fighting anybody else, I'm not sure this would get mentioned if the dude is not bigger than him. If I guarantee you this, anybody else in welterweight or below, smaller than him, I don't think we would be hearing this right before the fight. Worried about your well-being. A lot of that worried about your well-being has to do about the opponent he's about to face, and that's Terence Bud Crawford. Just like Manny Pacquiao and them was worried about it. But going forward, let's see what happens. What you guys think about that? Is Errol Spence slurring his speech more than normal? I'm not sure. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm up out of here, y'all.